Outside of the classroom, John regularly grants interviews to TV and radio stations in Ghana on public policy matters. Please welcome your colleague, John Taden.
I come from a small town in northern Ghana known as Saboba.
I connected virtually with an intellectual to discuss the importance of data science in the Africa Development Agenda. John Taden is an assistant professor of international studies at Pepperdine University in California. He holds a PhD in public policy and political economy. He has a master's in social data analytics and research, as well as a master's in business administration, all from the United States. John is the right person to speak about this topic. It's a privilege to connect with John. In plain English, what is data science?
Well, when we say data science, we are essentially talking about the science of, or say, the process of extracting knowledge from, our fuzzy world, our busy world, and turning that knowledge into, meaningful insights or meaningful numbers or texts that we can use to make decisions for the future. But that's a very simplistic view of it. Data science is a very, very broad field right now. And so when somebody says that they are into data science, they could be doing one of several things. They could be into what we call data mining or programming or data processing, which is people using tools such as Python or SQL or RStudio to dig into, data sets, to mine data and fish out meaningful patterns to generate knowledge that we can use to make decisions. They could also be in things such as machine learning. In machine learning, you have folks building models and training machines to extract information from one form of data and into another, making it available in another form. For instance, we can use machine learning to transform data from voice to text. And so when I'm talking right now and you see YouTube literally writing down what I'm saying down there on the screen, that is machine learning in action without a human being actually sitting down and typing out what I'm saying to you.
Oh, wow. So does that mean something like Alexa, Amazon Echo and all of those? So is that example of machine learning?
Those are examples of data scientists using data and transforming voice into words.
Like talking to Siri on Apple and all of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And it could also be we also have a data visualization, which is what my YouTube channel Africa Explored does, and that is looking into data and fishing out patterns or trends and turning those trends into attractive digital sort of visuals or graphics for people to make sense of. And so if you see a graph that shows you that in 2009 South Africa had the highest GDP in Africa. However, by 2011, Nigeria overtook South Africa. And you're learning all that through a graph. That's what we call data visualization. And that's usually the front end of a data science career. And there are people behind that in other fields called data analytics, where you're trying to use that or trying to analyze and find out what happened and how can we make meaning of all that. So data science is broad, and when somebody says they're in data science, there are a lot of things that they could be doing.
What would be the role of data science in Africa Development Agenda?
That's a very good question, Ade. In fact, we are in the fourth industrial revolution where literally everything is about data. And so the relevance of data science to Africa's development agenda is huge. And if I was to categorize the answer to this question, we're going to talk about the importance of data science to, say, businesses, data science to individuals, data science to governments. For example, for businesses, things such as cloud computing, modeling, forecasting, customer targeting and retention, finding where your customers are. You need data. Using previous customer behavior to predict future customer behavior, using data on past sales to predict and forecast future demand, is all based on data and data science. And so for businesses, the possibilities are limitless. But say for governments, for instance, digitalization, which Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa and all these countries are currently embarking on, and using data science to formalize economies, to bring people from the informal sector to the formal sector, cannot be done without data science. When we talk about formalizing an economy, and that is pulling people in the rural areas, farmers or people in petty activities or small economic units, and registering them or having them formalized into some sort of arrangement, all these things, you need data to be able to do that. And once you get into the economy, they themselves represent data. They have data about themselves, data about their past activities. And these things allow them to leverage their own activities and the information about them to establish, credible access to credit, to attract investors, to build long-term livelihoods for themselves, and even allowing the governments to expand their own tax bases, because once you have people in the formal economy, you have them registered to pay taxes, and it allows governments to wean themselves off of foreign aid. And so we don't have to be listening to outsiders to tell us what we want to be doing. And so we cannot, for instance, Nana Akufo-Addo's weaning off of foreign aid agenda cannot succeed without formalization of the economy. The formalization of the economy cannot succeed without huge investment into data science in the country. And so the impact of data science on the continent is huge, or the relevance of it is huge. When we talk about, say, individuals, like at the individual level, for instance, in Ghana, we have some startups that come to mind, such as Farmerline and Agro Center. And you have young people using mobile or web technology to provide, farmers with real-time and future data about the weather, financial tips, their sales and customers in need of their product. In Nigeria, there's a startup known as Zenvos. What they do is they analyze soil data and then advise farmers on the exact amount of fertilizer to apply so that they can avoid wastage or, insufficient application of fertilizer, leading to efficient production. The possibilities are limitless at the individual level and for young people. And even think about our agricultural sector, right? Data science can be applied to any part of our economy: health, diagnosis of diseases, education, and whole lot. But one that is critical right now is agriculture, right? 60% or more of Africans are involved in agriculture. Yet we can't feed ourselves. We import most of the food that we eat.
That's really
a huge drag on ourselves. And part of it is because we have not been able to actually embark on a full-scale green revolution. And a green revolution being engaging in large-scale agricultural production, large plantation farming, where you have one farmer using machinery and managing, hundreds of thousands of hectares by himself. We haven't been able to do that. Part of it is, because of the poverty of our insurance industry and all those things. We have something that we call adverse selection, or even moral hazard in economics that is applied in the insurance industry. For instance, if you are a private insurance company in Nigeria, if you want to insure someone's vehicle or business or farm equipment, you need data about their past behavior, their past management skills, their past credit worthiness, their past vehicle management behavior, right? If you don't have that data, that information, what you're going to do is charge them a very high premium because of the risk involved.
It's almost like a guesswork,
right? Up to a point where they even find it better to go without insurance because it's just too expensive. When they go without insurance and the equipment breaks down, they can't afford to repair it because these are sophisticated machinery. As a result, what happens? The business collapses. And so you have this trend where we don't actually have these support systems such as an insurance industry that can support a green revolution on the continent. And so, if we have data that government uses to formalize the economy, or even a government digitalizing an economy and provides pulls all these people into the formal sector. We have data about them. They can leverage that data and go and obtain cheap insurance to embark on large-scale plantation farming, and we would have fewer farmers feeding most of the people on the continent. So when we talk about the possibilities of data science on the continent, mention any sector, and we can talk about how the lack of data is possible.
Let me ask you this question. So, data science profession in Africa. So, will you say it's kind of like oversaturated, or will you say it's kind of like a lot of shortage in that field?
For instance, there are two ways of answering your question. There are some people who think that we don't have enough engineers on the continent, right? To spearhead, construction and development of our infrastructure. And there are those who also believe that we have enough engineers or more, but many of them graduate from schools and end up in sectors that have nothing to do with engineering or don't even have jobs. In the case of data science, we currently have a situation where many people haven't gotten to even knowing the need for the profession yet, because there are many businesses that haven't figured out yet that they need data, or with the help of data, they can scale out on large scale. What we need to be doing is actually, in fact, investing at both ends of it. The end of businesses looking for data scientists and granting them employment opportunities, and the end of young people being inspired and motivated to go into data science to come and be useful to businesses that need them. And so that is how I would approach my answer to your question.
Okay, so you are a assistant professor in a PhD holder and academician in the academic field. So what do you think is the role of the education system in Africa? What do you think is their role in terms of like the higher institution, university and colleges? What do you think is their role in promoting data science?
So at the moment, one of the things that bothers me is I actually haven't yet seen a department in any university in Africa that is explicitly said the Department of Data Science, which is something we need, like we're running late on. I think that whilst it is possible to incorporate data science into computer science departments or maybe engineering departments, what we need to be doing really to generate a group of young men that are ready to lead the continent through the fourth industrial revolution, which we can talk about in detail if you want, is establishing explicit data science schools, data science departments, data science faculties and colleges in the universities that will churn out people who are highly trained in these sectors. And that's one part of it. But governments need to be sort of strengthening digital literacy among the people who have left school. Establishing or considering the establishment of satellite internet services such as Google, Facebook, and SpaceX are doing, or building high-speed internet infrastructure so that we're not, facing very slow internet speeds when we talk about the fourth industrial revolution.
So, which country in Africa do you think is kind of like ahead currently in terms of like data science in Africa? Is there any particular country that comes to mind that is doing well?
Well, I think that doing
better than the others.
Yeah, that's a good question. When I look at the African landscape and I look at what's going on, looking at it from the investment perspective, I think countries such as Kenya and Nigeria have a lot of young people that are self-invested in data science at sort of very, very massive scales. Many of the startups that we have in Africa come out of Kenya. So Kenya has one of the largest sort of Silicon Valley style
startup ecosystem
infrastructure for data science. And Lagos is another, Egypt following suit, South Africa and Ghana. And these are the countries that are sort of leading the fourth industrial revolution on the continent.
I think I've done some video about startups as well. So
right. So I think that more and more need to be done. But Kenya, I love what's going on in Kenya, and I think Kenya is one of the countries that actually does not exploit natural resources for revenue, right? Apart from tea and cocoa, and so I think that they have learned over the years how to increase their GDP without natural resources, and that alone is a skill that can propel them to spearhead the fourth industrial revolution on the continent.
So you've mentioned fourth industrial revolution a lot, and I really want to know about what is it all about, fourth industrial revolution?
So when we say an industrial revolution, we're basically talking about sort of a large scale transition from one form of production to a more efficient form, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Or to a mass form. And so the very first industrial revolution that the world experienced was in the 1760s, where we invented the steam engine, and transportation changed from horseback to steam-powered locomotives. We use locomotive trains to transport coal from mines to factories.
Yeah.
The second industrial revolution occurred in the 1860s, almost 100 years later, when electricity was invented by Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
And the combustion engine was invented, and factories expanded in scale to engage in mass production in textile and several other industries. The third industrial revolution actually occurred in the 1960s and 70s, when the internet was discovered and computers were invented. We learned to automate these factory lines. Instead of people doing things, computers were now automating these factory lines. The mobile phone was invented, and we connected people from one corner of the globe to the other. And so that led us to this fourth industrial revolution, where we're witnessing the era of robotics, artificial intelligence, self-driving cars, large-scale digitalization that we're talking about, big data analytics, which is informing all of this, and who knows what is capable for the future. We talk about the Internet of Things. Right now, 10 years ago, there were, human beings were connected on just maybe one-to-one devices. Now, we are connected on more than one, like up to 5 devices. Our televisions are connected. Our electricity is connected through Wi-Fi. Our laptops are connected. Our watches are connected and telling us what we're doing, what our behavior is. So many things getting connected in what we call the Internet of Things. And these things actually communicate and generate new data to tell us things that we're doing in ways that are just unimaginable. So, this is the fourth industrial revolution, and I think that Africa we cannot afford to miss out on this one. I totally agree with you on that, and we can't really afford to miss out. Okay, so let me actually talk about. So for somebody that is watching this and thinking, right, so data science, what is the best way to actually get started to become a data science? Where will be how to become a data analyst, or so I can't get my word right. How to become a data analyst or a data scientist or a data information analyst, whatever. So what's the best way? So let me answer that by saying there are several disciplines of data science, right? And you can start from any one of them. Now, for most of it, and in fact, basically, you need some level of statistics and mathematics, algebra and all that. But you don't have to be a PhD level statistician or sort of some expert in mathematics to start in data science. In fact, YouTube can lead you through machine learning. YouTube can lead you through data analytics, data visualization, data mining, data processing, Excel, Python, SQL, R, Stata, all these available tools, you can download them, go to YouTube, and you will be able to pick up some skills in data science. But of course, in order to get a job for a company, some firm or government, you need some certificate to show that you have a skill in whether data analytics, data visualization, machine learning, data programming, and what have you. And that is where you have to look for schools near you. There are many schools doing that online. Some universities may have courses now, but not, full-scale departments. Look around you, which universities have a data science program that you can start from. And before you even start, you already have some deep knowledge about it from YouTube. And that's another thing. We're in an era where you can literally learn anything from your bed.
Yeah,
Well, actually,
I totally agree. I agree with you. Literally anything you can learn. Yeah,
and you don't actually have to go find a job once you pick up a skill. You can do a lot of things with a data science skill on YouTube alone. You have a lot of people visualizing data and animating data, making videos, such as my YouTube channel that I just do for luxury because I don't have a lot of time sitting down and do that. And some of that I actually just reach out to people in Ghana and say, hey, I need you to collect this data for me, and I pay them and they do that for me. Yeah. But you have to have some level of skill in how to organize data or collect data to be able to make money out of that. You go on Fiverr, there are people looking for data collectors so that they will tell them where to go bring some data for them to use for something. You can learn how to collect data, how to organize that data, clean that data, and generate patterns for people who need that data. So and you don't need a firm to hire you to do that. So the possibilities are limitless. And I would encourage anybody to just start from YouTube or any book that you can find in the library.
Everyone that is watching, please do check out John's channel, Africa Explore, and that channel definitely really will provide you a lot of information that has to do with Africa and the world in terms of it's really amazing visualization skills that is really showing off on that channel. So please do check out that channel. Thanks everyone for watching, and God bless.